Welcome back to the shop. It's been a while since I posted my last video. Today we're making springs. I've made a spring making tool. This is a MIG welding collet that I've drilled out to accept the 51 thousandths music wire that I'm going to use. An aluminum block so I can tighten down on it in this. And then I also made, out of a piece of scrap bronze, this thing right here. All that does is keep the wire going straight, and I can clamp it down kind of like a bike brake or just a brake to put some tension on the wire. This is the music wire I'm going to use. It's a spring tempered steel. It's the same thing that would go into a piano. However, this is intended to be used as spring making material. And I'm just going to run it through my block that I made, get it set up in the mandrel. And this is a mandrel up close. This is the one I experimented with. It's a 1/4 inch piece of stainless steel and it has a hole in it. The wire goes through that so it locks it in. On the other end I have a spot where my live center can actually hold this up so it doesn't wobble around. I'm going to insert the wire into the mandrel, and then as the lathe turns and moves as if it's cutting a thread, a left-hand thread, it's going to pull the wire tight around that mandrel, creating the curls that we need. Using the calculator that I found, I know that I'll get about a 260 thousandths inner diameter, which is just big enough to fit a 1/4 inch screw through. I made a few different springs, all on this 6mm mandrel. This is 8 threads per inch. This was, I believe, 10. Might be a little bit bigger. I'll actually try them both. I figure while I'm making all these, I'll just make a bunch. But you notice this one was just random size. This is one that I tested, or rather there were 2 of these that I tested. This is my reference length. So from these 2, I'll get a nice flat end on both. Once they're all cut, put them in some steel wool, wrap them in aluminum foil, and bake them either on the grill or a toaster oven at as hot as it can get. 650 would be nice, for about an hour, and then let it cool. It'll be done. You can see when these aren't stress relieved, they tend to bend like that. So I took these 2 off of the timpani. So these are the ones I used to check. This is one I haven't used yet. You can see it's about a 1/2 inch longer. So it's going to have more holding power than these did. But I have several options here I can work through. The ones that I'm liking the most have this flat end. And if they're too long, we can end up grinding them afterwards. So I have a few that are open on the end. So what I'm going to do is wrap them in some steel wool and aluminum foil, and then put them in the toaster oven. I don't quite understand what the steel wool is for, but if I had to guess, it keeps the metal from turning completely black or oxidizing. Could also be an insulator. I'm just following some directions I found online. So one thing I've done is I bored the inside of this part, which is what the bolt screws into and the spring hits up against. I made a spot that allows the spring to center. It's not important that it centers necessarily, but it's important that I can get this into this part. And it's really a challenge to do because, as you'll see, the spring is about 3/8 of an inch longer than the bolt. So I have to do this under tension. Quick review on the 28 pedal. This is the one where we repaired the pedal board itself because I snapped it trying to realign the bolt that attaches the kick plate. We have also made down here the shim, I'm going to call it, along with the bracket that pushes this up so that can be adjusted. So we've done a lot of work to this, and I think the spring feels great. I'm happy with the way it's fit. It was a challenge to get on there. As you can see, it's very springy. I think the next thing is to move on to hoops. No more putting that off. Next step is to disassemble the drums and start making new hoops. That will be the next episode. I promise we will start the hoops on the next episode. Other things I need to get done while working on the hoops, or even after working on the hoops. I want to weld the holes shut on the Y braces or the struts so that I can put new holes in them, and take all the ears off the hoops and make new hoops. I'll make the hoops, do the alignment, and then install the hoop, double check the alignment, permanently tighten everything down, and then, quite frankly, the next step after that is hopefully paint. I need to strip the paint, I need to take the drums apart. I'm not going to video that, I might time lapse it, but you've seen me do that a couple times now. If I don't re-record this in the workshop on the normal camera, thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying this process. Sorry it's been a while since the last post or video. I've been busy. I've finished the 75th season with the Greenville Symphony as principal timpanist, and I have built a new website. I hope you'll visit it, dkpercussion.com. I've also revamped the blog where I'll have some how-tos, including some behind-the-scenes stuff about what I'm doing here, and maybe a hint or two about what comes after this project. Hope you'll subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.